Perks of Being a Wallflower is about Charlie, who's just starting high school. He decides to write letters to an anonymous person about his personal life. Charlie is traumatized by the death of his Aunt Helen, who he adored very much. Her death affected him mentally and emotionally, but went to a therapist to get treated and slowly got better. But after his best friend's death, he fell into deep depression once again. He wasn't very social in school until he met Simon Patrick, who made him feel like he was part of something. Throughout the book, he speaks of events that happened not just to him, but to his friends, and how they affected him and made him feel. Towards the end, he realized that it wasn't death of his Aunt Helen that had impacted him. It was what she had done to him before she died. He finally decides to speak about it and is suddenly free from his own prison. Perks of Being a Wallflower was recently banned in Wallingford, Connecticut by a concerned parent who desperately wanted to remove the book from the high school reading list. The parent, Jean Pierre, argued that the book contained inappropriate content, including depiction of homosexuality, sex, masturbation, and glorification of alcohol and drug use. Not only was it banned in the school, but also many years before in various locations. In 2003, it was challenged in Fairfax school libraries by a group called Parents Against Bad Books in Schools for profanity, sexually explicit conduct, and torture. In 2004, it was removed as a reading assignment in a sociology course in New York for its offensive content. In 2005, it was also challenged at a library in Texas along with 15 other young adult books with positive gay themes. In 2006 and 7, it got retained in Merton and Northwest Suburban Reading List in Arlington Heights. In 2008, it got removed from a high school in New York because of its two-page rape scene. In 2009, it was also removed because of its strong sexual content and drug abuse. There's many more schools throughout the years that banned this book, and as you can see, it's mostly for the same reasons. Most parents are worried about their children being exposed to doing drugs or having experiences with their sexuality. But that's something normal that happens in teens. This book is good for them to read because it shows them the outcomes of bad actions. In the book, when Charlie did drugs, it showed how at the end of the day, it didn't help him get through anything. It just made him more stuck than he already was. He speaks about how his experiences make him who he is, and I quote, "So I guess we are who we are for a lot of reasons, and maybe we'll never know most of them, but even if we don't have the power to choose where we come from, we can choose where we go from there. We can still do things, and we can try to feel okay about them." The sexual scenes in this book were not very graphic, but it is natural for things like this to happen. It's real life experiences. This put teenagers more aware of what their high school years could be, or they can choose to find their own path. It's not good for parents to keep their children unaware of their surroundings or what other people go through. It helps their mind mature faster and think more. I'm strongly against it being banned in so many areas. It doesn't get as much credit as it deserves.